Hey guys, welcome back. I'm Dominic with 9 to 5 Tactical. So, there has been a lot of talk in the gun community that more money equals more better. What do I mean? That more expensive guns, especially 2011s, have a certain stigma around them, saying that it's too easy to shoot and that if you have one, it's basically the gun performing for you and not the shooter. But basically, in simpleton terms, can you buy skill? So we decided to conduct a fun experiment between 3 different guns, as well as running those 3 different guns on 3 different drills. On top of those factors, we have an additional one, and that is having 3 different shooters. So today we actually have our friend Steve. He's visiting us from out of town in the absence of Zach. So I think he's been shooting for about less than a year, training seriously. So he's kind of more on the novice side. I'm kind of in the middle. I've been shooting for almost 2 years. Brandon, behind the camera, has been shooting for about 3 years. So I thought it would be a really good idea with 3 different experience levels to see what kind of marginal gains that we have with these pistols. The guns we have in question today is the Glock 47. So this is a very popular gun amongst the duty police officers, Leo to military. The Glock 47, it can be concealed carry, but its primary purpose is definitely made for duty. But you can pick this up between $620 to $650 from what I'm seeing online. Basically what we have on it is a Surefire X300 Turbo, as well as a Meprolite MPOF. This is full size, so to combat that with another full size, we have a Staccato XC. This is definitely a full size. This thing is big. It's $4,300 MSRP, and what we're running on this one is a red dot. I don't have the Surefire X300 on this, but we will be adding that when we run it because I need that for holster compatibility. This is kind of a big jump in price. I know it seems rather like huge because this is like right before you get into Nighthawk and Atlas territories. We thought that was a pretty fair comparison because we wanted to see is if you can really feel that like almost $4,000 difference with the Staccato XC. So basically about $600 to $4,300. Now we do have an extra gun, I said 3, remember, is the X Macro. Why we chose the X Macro to be in here is because it's a very popular concealed carry weapon. I mean, it's a compact size, it's got a very thin profile, it's growing in popularity, so we thought this would be more relatable to everyday shooters. Just to recap, this is $820. This is between $620 to $650, and this is $4,300. So the first drill we have is the build drill. What is this? We'll have an IPSC target down there. We'll be aiming at A-zone chest from 7 yards. That'll be 6 shots total. The goal of this drill has always been try to get sub 2, so 2 seconds or less. The reason why we're doing this drill is because it's kind of a combination of a bunch of things, from the draw, which is weapon manipulation, all the way up to the lining up your sights, sight alignment, as well as handling the recoil. And what that can kind of tell us is from the shooter's skill all the way to how the gun kind of feels in our hands from 6 shots. And from 6 shots, we can generally get a lot of information of how the gun feels and how we are performing as a shooter. So I'll be going first since I am explaining this to get an idea, and I'll also be the first one to embarrass myself.
254.
1 Charlie. I'm having Glock issues. My dot was down here in the first shot. I brought it back up after that. 254, 1 Charlie.
Woo! That's clean. I think maybe a line break. Is that a line break right there?
Right.
Perfect. We'll give it to him. So 589, clean.
That was 211. Clean. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So we just completed our runs on the X Macro, and now we are swapping to the Glock 47.
286. Looks clean.
That was a bad draw.
So the best part is that if he had to do any more shots than 6, he would definitely start going out because he was 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
Yeah, I gotta lock it down a little bit better.
Like 1, 2, 3, no. Keep going up and up. One more shot would take him outside the A zone.
Five, 6, 6. All clean. All alphas. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. How does that feel compared to X Macro?
Pretty good. I want to say it sort of returned quicker, but
okay. How's that grip angle? Feel any different?
grip angle wasn't too bad.
Okay.
It was a little bit, I would say, more comfortable.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
Okay.
for at least for me, it felt more comfortable. 240.
240.
Glocks are not my thing. You see that first one was like, ugh.
Yeah.
Ugh. I got 1 Charlie.
1 Charlie, 5 Alphas.
Yeah.
Last gun we have for the build drill is the Staccato XC. This is the creme de la creme, $4,300 gun. So everybody, theoretically, based on the math, should shoot better.
284, all alphas.
The shirt got caught in the way. So I messed up the draw. Still a skill issue. What was the time again?
284.
284. So I've been really slow today, and that carries over to all platforms. Keep that in mind. Not my best performance, but doesn't matter because it only matters.
We'll cut that out. This is his best performance. This is the best I've ever seen him shoot yet, honestly.
Shut the.
531. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 right there.
So we just finished up the build drill portion. Next we got our second drill. That'll be out here at 10 yards. We have the cones adjusted, as well as the B8 targets we have on the IPSC targets. The reason behind this, we're actually going to do this just from low ready. Try to take less off the weapon manipulation and try to see how we can handle the felt recoil, how the trigger feels, and the return to zero. So kind of a little bit more on the weapon on this one instead of skill. Of course, we'll be doing this first again for the same order, P365, Glock, and then Staccato.
So for this portion, it's actually not going to be a timed event, but we are going to be keeping track of time. He'll go off the buzzer just for a dash at the end, just to help with the conclusions.
Oh.
That 10? That's 10, right?
No, 9.
Oh, fuck.
Still got one more.
Miss. I can press right here.
Oh, shit.
A 10? I don't know.
You want more?
Oh.
You already put 10 rounds in there.
I don't know why. So after that test, we'll look at Steve's target here with the X macro, 56 out of 100, 1741. The grouping is rather large. It is a subcompact or compact platform with a short barrel, so those are kind of expected. A Glock here, full size, longer barrel. He got 93 out of 100, 1698. Grouping got tighter. The XC, 1440, 93 out of 100. The XC being a heavier gun, easier to control. Look at this, his grouping's got a lot tighter. Especially look at right here, those are like almost all touching. So moving on to my results, we'll look at my XC results. Very tight grouping, I did set one up, but disregard that. Really tight. Got 1606, time was long because I can't count. I got 99 out of 100, tight grouping. X macro, the groupings actually are relatively same length as the Staccato. I did that at 1240, 100 out of 100. The Glock, the groupings opens up a little bit here, 1380, 99 out of 100, but still relatively not bad grouping. We're moving on to Brandon's target on the X macro, pretty open grouping, 96 out of 100, 2283. So he did have the same issue of kind of miscounting like I did, but I think if he didn't, it would have been around 13 or 14 seconds. Moving on to the Glock, he did this in 14 seconds. Grouping is a little bit tighter than the X macro at 96 out of 100. Here's the interesting part about the XC, and you probably noticed as we went through the whole circle, is that he got a 995, 97 out of 100. Scores is relatively the same, but how fast he was able to do it with the XC says a lot about the XC's capabilities. So the next drill we have is a throttle control drill. So what it'll be is we'll have a target at 5 yards, 15 yards, and 25. So there'll be 2 strings of fire. The first one will be from close to far, 2 shots each, so it'll be 2, 2, and 2. And then the second string will be in reverse order from the 25 yard all the way back to the 5, 2, 2, and 2. So 12 shots total. I threw a Charlie on that one.
481.
Close to far is, I mean, far to close is definitely harder.
You might have set them both left on that back one, I think. Nice. 924.
Ooh, I don't know. Those look kind of high. $5.15. Ooh, definitely.
One went low left.
Low left for sure, yeah.
497. $504. $743. $788.
$3.50. Damn.
I should have put that one.
507.
I should have done this one better. I hesitated from this one, that one.
Ooh.
432. $476.
Oh,
Mulligan. Never mind. Never mind. Let's go.
The shots look in line.
1111.
Ooh.
650. I'm pretty sure you threw one high over there.
Yeah, those look. Both of them look high back there, actually.
650.
Look in line.
327.
Kind of on the higher side, though, on the 25 yard. Damn.
349.
All right, so after running our final drill, from my experience, it was definitely easier with the Staccato, the creme de la creme kind of gun. As expected, you know, you kind of spend that much money, you want it to be better. The X Macro, I did that one actually similar to the Glock, but the Glock was just slightly better. I think I just benefit from the full size recoil control and that barrel length. But for me overall, I think I was almost the same for all the guns in terms of like how I did on performance. The Sky was just ever so slightly better because I think that gun was easier to control. But I'm actually quite surprised. I actually did not see the crazy marginal gains across different platforms for myself. I don't know, Steve, what do you have to say about your experience with it?
So personally, I believe that the more expensive the gun, the better. For the Staccato though, it just made it easier to put in the gas.
So based on my experience, obviously as you go from like the cheaper ones to the more expensive ones, I definitely felt a gain in like being able to go faster. It's a little bit easier to shoot, but I would say that the differences were pretty marginal. I don't think they were that much different. I feel like if I trained a little harder with the X Macro or the Glock, I could probably speed up and probably keep up with the XC, honestly, in my opinion. Build drills especially kind of showed that there wasn't too big of a difference. Even with the last drill we did where the throttle control, there was a little bit of gain, but it wasn't a lot, I felt. Like not like $4,000 difference in my opinion. So I'd say the better you get as well at shooting, you'll probably start seeing less and less gain from what I could tell just shooting all those guns.
He says he's not that great, but he outclassed everyone here.
The bar's pretty low. Now, as far as marginal gains, obviously, as far as like the Staccato, I definitely shot a little bit better compared to the X Macro or the Glock. Now, the price point here, X Macro is about $800, the Glock's about $600, and the XC is about almost $4,500. I definitely shot the XC the best, and then the Glock, and then the X Macro, which is kind of funny because technically the Glock is actually the cheapest. So, essentially, can you buy skill? Yes, but not in every situation because obviously some guns are more expensive and may not be worth the price they're put at. So just something food for thought.
So interestingly, I did not get my predictor results. Honestly, I thought Steve would have the most marginal gains as a newbie. And then like me next in terms of like in the middle, and then Brandon would have the least amount. Because usually when I hear from high level shooters, when they talk about like switching between different platforms, they say it's not that big of a difference. Maybe that's their skill level and perception. But interestingly, Brandon with the most experience here actually did have the most marginal gains. And that can come down to a lot of things, like especially with adaptability. And what the majority of people think is that because you're a new shooter and you start with like the best gun in the world, you're gonna get like marginal gains. Like it's just going to make your life that much easier. Actually, I think after our results here with Brandon having the most, is that the most experience in adaptability, he's actually able to utilize the maximum potential of each platform. So the maximum potential of like the Staccato XC being a $4,000 gun, having that much of more capability, he was actually able to maximize on that. Opposed to, I think me and Steve, we did benefit from it a little bit, but not as much if we could maximize the potential of it.
Kind of also proves a point too that if you just suck at shooting, you're gonna suck. It doesn't matter. You can buy some skill in a point, but you're not gonna be better than the guy over there that actually trains. So it's really important for you to get out to the range, make sure you get good so you can stay good.
I thought like our predictions were blown out. I think Brandon and I both even thought that
we talked about this for a while.
We talked about this because I've been trying to get this test for a while, but we just never had the time. And Steve visiting us being on the novice show, I thought would be the perfect time to do so. And I think Brandon and I were both wrong. We were both wrong in our prediction.
Yeah, we were wrong.
We were way wrong. We thought the novice shooter would benefit the most from just going between different platforms. However, I think adaptability and preferences actually comes into play. I think you said you didn't like the X macro that much, right?
I got slightly bigger hands than most people, so it does make gripping smaller handguns way harder. And when it comes down to shooting, I feel like with smaller handguns, I do lose my grip more often than I do with full-size handguns. And it also comes down to fundamentals, I would say. When it came down to X macro, a lot of my fundamentals were lacking, unlike the XC or Glock.
So you think that with the XC and the Glock, it can actually hide some of your bad fundamentals and actually help you with it, right?
So that's what I was gonna say too. Is just like with the XC, I know for a fact like I didn't really have to worry about my grip all too much. Like I could have had it fairly loose and like I could send it with more speed than I could the Glock or the X macro.
Yeah, it was super apparent, right? Like your XC times, I think for the B8 one, if you've seen that one, his time, like he'd shade off like he was like almost half his time was cut on the XC opposed to like the X macro.
Yeah.
Just so you don't think we're drawing our conclusions from thin air, we'll actually put up a chart. We actually took into fact hit factor. We weren't calculating it on screen because it's a lot to say and math is kind of boring. I know we're Asian, but yeah, we have hit factor in there. We're not math Asians. So, can money buy skill? Yes, but not in all situations. Of course, you still suck. So that's what we really have all for you today from our very analytical tests. So if you like this kind of video, leave a like, share, and subscribe. If you have any arguments or things you don't agree with what we did, let us know in the comments below. That might be an idea for future videos, so do let us know. Also support us on Patreon. We're a bunch of brokies and we need your help. This is also how we keep this content free as YouTube keeps trying to put us in the ground. So with that, I'll see you in the next one.